first of all, congrats on such a fantastic film. I must say, I was very entertained throughout the film.
Oh, good.
I love the humor layered in this film, and it's not something seen before in one of your films. So how did the idea of Free Fire come around?
I'm a big fan of action movies, you know, and I've watched a lot of action movies. And generally, when I make stuff, I kind of look around and see what's about, and if there's something that I want to see that's not there, then I get to writing it, you know. And I felt that, you know, my favourite kind of action movies in the 70s and 80s kind of didn't exist anymore. They'd become massive, you know, where in the 70s it would suffice just to have a little car chase at the end of something. Now it's like a planet explodes or something like that, or a giant robot punches a dinosaur in the face or something. And I just felt less engaged with it, and I wanted to see something that was much more on a human scale. And that's kind of how it started. And I started reading about like police procedural stuff and about transcripts from the police had written up about gun battles. And I was thinking, and unsurprisingly, the experience that these guys have is very different from films, you know. And I wanted to get some of that into the script, this kind of messiness and like the under pressure people aren't very accurate at shooting. If people are shooting back at them and they fire a lot of bullets, and if you're not trained, you've got no chance basically. And so I thought that was really interesting. And then there's all this kind of stuff of being good on the range, but that doesn't really help you if you're under pressure. So then you get this movie where it's messy and kind of dirty and difficult, you know. And I wanted to see people, that human scale of people struggling and having their kind of all their choices reduced down very, very small.
I must say about the impressive casting from Armie Hammer, Sholto, and Bree. So how did that come about?
It was pretty organic. It kind of Cillian Murphy was the first person in, and I'd met Cillian. He'd asked to see me through talked to my agent. I went for a drink with him, and we got on really well. And I thought, I want to make something with him, but what can I do? So I started thinking about this character that he plays in the film, and then it expanded out from that. And he was the first person I sent the script to, and he agreed to do it. I talked to Michael Smiley, he really was up for it. And then it was a case of one by one going through. So someone like Armie Hammer, Amy Jump, who's the writer and editor, and I really enjoyed The Lone Ranger. And we just I love Armie Hammer, we fantastic. So we just went, let's get Armie Hammer. So we phoned my American agent, said, can you get Armie Hammer? And then 2 days later I was talking to him and he went, yeah, I'd love to do it. So it's stuff like that was really crazy. But it's just, they were really generous, you know, the actors, and they were excited about the script and they wanted to do it.
And Rokecha is about Martin Scorsese, who was the executive producer. So how did he get involved and what was his input in this?
Scorsese had made a movie in the UK called Hugo, and he'd filmed it in Britain, and he spent a while in Britain while they were making it, and he'd asked to see what was going on in the British film scene. So production people had brought him movies, you know, and they brought him one of mine, Kill List. And when he was interviewed in the newspaper, they said, "Oh, what have you been up to?" And he said, "Oh, I saw this film Kill List along with a load of other movies." And I was like, "Oh wow, I saw it. Oh, that's interesting." So I got my agent to talk to his agent, which was down 3 offices down. I said, "Look, if you can do anything for me, I'd just love to meet him, because, you know, I wouldn't be making films if it wasn't for Scorsese, and I think he's like the greatest living filmmaker, you know." And I got to meet him, and it was just like, you know, it's lovely doing all this stuff and kind of red carpets and all that carry on. But meeting Scorsese was the best thing that ever happened to me making film, you know. So and then we chatted and got on.
What's next for you?
I'm just working on a lot of projects at the moment, so we're kind of in development stage. But I was kind of pretty tired after Free Fire, because we managed to do Free Fire and High Rise back to back. So Amy and I are having a little break before getting back into it. So yeah.
Thank you so much for chatting with us, Ben, and wishing you all the best.
Cheers, man. Thank you.